Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. Thanks for spending your 3 o'clock hour right here, 3:07 p.m. Eastern Time. We're coming into the closing bell, and we have markets in the red. Gold bouncing a bit, quite the volatile session. But the story today, some of the AI chip stocks. We have quite the acceleration. NASDAQ 100 off by 1.25%, off 316 points. You see the acceleration. Lows made just prior to 2 p.m. Eastern Time, near 24,800. And, we had quite the calm session yesterday, Monday. We opened this market in the NASDAQ 100. We had no volatility whatsoever, but the VIX remained elevated. We jump over to that VIX. We spiked to above 20. We've pulled back a bit on the market bounce. S&Ps right now, we're trading down 45 points, or about 0.7%, 67.27. The Dow off 0.7%, off 355 points. And the Russell leading the way. We hit a low of 2440. That's where we almost were last Friday. In context, the S&Ps made it down to 65.71. So the Russell underperforming, hitting the lows of almost Friday. We're off by 1.6%. Bitcoin. Now, when gold was cascading lower yesterday, Bitcoin was actually one of the beneficiaries. But boy, that reversed quickly. We're back to right where we were yesterday morning, chopping around off about $3,600 at 108,510. Yields in focus. We have a Fed that meets 1 week from today. Market all but certain that they're going to cut by 25 basis points, and the 10-year right now up by 2 ticks, 3.95%. Now, you take a look at the daily. Okay, we're right back to where we were. September 17th was the last Fed meeting. We hit a high of 113.25.5. We're at 113.26, right? We're literally sitting right at the high point there. And if you recall, on that day, we got a spike lower in yields, and then you had a reversal, and we're right back there almost 5 weeks later. Okay, now what's interesting is yields are back there, but the dollar has risen during that time. So that's your same day. When we had all that yield weakness, you had dollar weakness to go with it. Dollar down to 96.21. The dollar's been strong. Even with yields in focus, we'll see if it can hold a week away from that Fed meeting. And gold. Quite the volatile session yesterday, to put it lightly. Cascades lower. We bounce off the lows intraday. We're at 41.02. You take a look at the daily. We have some selling here on volume, folks. Okay? You back it up to Friday's volume, 558,000 contracts. Then you bounce to an all-time high Monday on 330,000 contracts almost. And then yesterday you accelerate in 524. Today we've already done 435. And on a weekly basis, pretty remarkable that we, depending on, listen, we got 2 full trading days left, okay? But we're on pace to break 1.9 million for the week, which would be a remarkable turnaround. We'll see how the price goes. You jump over to silver. On a daily basis, we got some selling on silver as well. Look at these red bars. Back it up to Friday's high. We sell off with 180,000 contracts, 155,000 yesterday. Your bounce on Monday was only 97,000 contracts on silver. Now, gold coming into this week, folks, 9 straight weeks on the upside. 9 straight weeks. So, all things considered, that run began 9 weeks ago, August 18th, at 33.53. And if you just look at that acceleration, we're on it. We're not even back to the 382 retracement, as in this, it's been a one-way trip. Okay, so longer term, we'll see how gold reacts. Shorter term, a little bit of volatility, a little bit of a pullback in a market that has been relentlessly strong. You talk about volatility. Platinum from 1770 to below 1500. Platinum right now up by 3.6%. Okay, we jump to Netflix. Yeah, they missed on earnings. Now, Netflix had about an $85 move priced in, so it's a big move. $122 to the downside. You're off 10% on this equity. We're going to have volume, of course. And yeah, they got a big problem in earnings. They came in just in line with revenue. And earnings, they were supposed to make almost $7 a share, and they come in at under $6 a share. Down by 10%. We jump around to some of the other streamers. Disney off by 0.8%. Warner Brothers Discovery. So they're saying they're turning down offers just under $24 a share. That's what they were saying out there this morning. You see the acceleration yesterday. You're up by another 1.3% right now for Warner Brothers Discovery. So Tesla after the bell. Now, you can expect a big quarter from them, but where do we go forward? And I say that as in, when they came out with their deliveries, record deliveries for the quarter, but that was the end of the tax credit. And I'm talking about the $7,500 tax credit for the new vehicles. They also can't sell the credits to other companies. And the revenue that they've taken in from that in the years past has been a remarkable number, and that is not in play with the big, beautiful bill anymore. So this is going to be a volatile session. You jump over to Tesla shares. In terms of the move, the market right now, about a $27 move in either direction. We take a look at the options expiring on Friday. Tesla's trading at about $437. Okay, so you're looking at about $15 in either direction for puts and calls where we are right now. What's that? 7% move, something like that on Tesla, and they'll be out with their earnings after the bell. In other news, do I have this one? Yeah, Google. Check this one out, right? Quantum computing breakthrough on the Willow chip, and it's replicatable. So it's a repeatable on similar platforms and outperform classical computers. How about running 13,000 times faster than possible on the world's best supercomputer? Now, Google, positive on a day when the market's getting punished. But yeah, how about that? There's a little volatility spike for Google last night, up to 260. Google's been on fire recently, making all-time highs this week. And that would have been an all-time high if you had held that in the pre-market. We opened at 257, and Google giving back some of those gains. But yeah, quantum computing, they're talking about 5 years in here. The key thing about verifiability is it's a huge step in the path toward a real-world application. And yeah, who was it said by? Tom O'Brien, staff research scientist at Google Quantum AI. I'm going to have to talk to that Tom O'Brien over there in that office in Google Quantum AI. We might have to get an interview going. All right? Totally. All right. Jump over to some of the other chip stocks. Amazon up by 1.8%. You jump over to Apple shares, down by 2%. Oracle off by half a percent. How about CoreWeave? Down 4.7%. A little bit of a bounce on CoreWeave. All right, we get a little bit of a bounce in this market as well. S&Ps, we're solid 40 points off the lows right now. We've gotten back almost half of the day's losses. All right, folks, stay tuned. We're going to be coming back. We're going to be talking with our man Sean Edwards, Vice President, Institutional ETF Strategist with Direction. And we'll be talking some Direction ETFs, the Titans. Stay tuned, folks. We're coming back with Sean. Don't go away.